second quarter underway, and this is the second match of the day, the final day of the Africa Cup for Club Champions hockey tournament taking place in Blantyre, Malawi, and this is Kampala of Uganda. Kampala of Uganda in yellow, and Genetrix from Malawi in red. Still no goals yet from either side. It's a fast game. A lot of talking on the pitch. No team wants to lose this match. It's extremely hot in Blantyre. And it's a goal! That was a quick one. There was a fast pass from the middle and got the hands of just number 12, Wakisi Samuel for Uganda. Ugandan Kampala, who slotted the ball into the net to put his team into lead. 1 Kampala, 0 Genetrix from Malawi. It's called Kampala hockey team. They just call it Kampala. We also have a township in Blantyre, an area rather in Manasseh there, Manasseh Kampala, they call it Kampala. And we also have Kampala hockey team in Uganda. They have penalty for Malawi and they score! It's 1-1. The first time I've seen Genetrix men's hockey team scoring from a half corner, a half penalty. It's 1-1. No team, as I said earlier on, wants to lose this one. Genetrix building an attack from the back. Short passes, but that doesn't pay any dividend as there is nobody with a yellow jersey there. The pass was aimed at Jesse Bakagaba, just number 9, Bakagaba, the forward for Kampala's hockey team. There's a quick reaction by Genetrix. A team coached by Bia. And a very good dummy there. No one is opening up. Coordination in the D on the final fade for Genetrix from the middle up front is proving to be a bit of a problem. Two teams who are at par in terms of tactics and the pace. It's a fast game. Bafo Musoke, jersey number 7, pressurizing, and there's a quick response by Genetrix. Gift Guada. What an experience. From Stanley Tamale of Kampala, denying Genetrix a chance to attack into the D. At least, despite forex challenges in the country, lack of infrastructure, but we should commend the Hockey Association of Malawi for staging this tournament, and it's been a success, as one man for Kampala, Alan Simcho, is injured. And there's a friendly chat there between one Genetrix player and Kampala's hockey team player. As captain for Genetrix, just number 14, Nasho Kudakwachi is watching. There is hope that the player will get back into the field of play for more action. Innocent Masangano was injured. He's back on his feet, but he's yet to feature again. Junior Kazembe is a doctor. From Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital, and is also attached here to make sure that first aid attention is perfectly executed. Genetrix finding it hard through Gift Kagwada to break through Kampala defense. Masangano Innocent is back in the team, and he joins the assault by his Genetrix team players, fellow players. That was an infringement. And Kampala are moving it fast, more faster, as now there is a quick reaction and opposition by Mandiza McLean. Benjamin Chaula will be joining me shortly in the commentary booth as a co-commentator and senior analyst in this second match of the final day of the African Cup for Club Champions. Shortly, still 1-1, a very tight affair. Benjamin, welcome. And there is news that Rakers from Kenya have been disqualified. They brought a national team and not a hockey team here in form of a club. And this had caused some delays in the kicking off of the first match. And this is why maybe we're playing the second game at this hour. How has this news been received with authorities in the organizing team?
That's very true. That we've just been informed that the team that was supposed to win the finals has been removed from the tournament. Basically, it's not that they brought a national team per se, but the rule says you can add in other players from other clubs in your country, but they shouldn't be more than 4. So I think maybe they had more than the required number. That's why they have been disqualified. Why
do you think they did that when they pretty knew about the rules and regulations governing a hockey tournament?
Yeah, I think basically it's more of every team wants to have a good quality players. So they wanted to win the tournament, and that's why they brought in more players as not required by the rules of the games. But all that they wanted maybe to get positive results.
How did all this been discovered? Who blocked the news? Who gave the tip? What happened?
I think basically this issue has risen from their camp, because I think there are about 2 teams from the same country. So I think the other team, they weren't happy with the way these guys are playing.
And there is a second goal for Genetrix. Kampala Lather from Kampala. A second goal for Kampala. Kampala are in red.
Yes.
Genetrix are the ones in yellow.
Yes.
Kampala hockey team now picks an early lead over Malawi's Genetrix. It's a tight match, fast. And there's a quick reaction there of a goalkeeper making another save. All right, Ben, final day of the African Cup for Club Champions here in Blantyre, Malawi. How would you summarize the tournament in terms of organization, advertisements, exposure for players, and the results themselves?
I would say the tournament was as good for Malawi, as Malawi being the host, because now I would say 6 teams playing, of which every team has 18 players. So it's like 100, almost over 100 players that are participating from Malawi, as compared to one club going outside the country to play. So it has given an opportunity to a lot of players to experience international hockey. because literally the teams that are participating here, they are good in their own countries. They are champions, and they are also maybe runners up. So I think the tournament has been very good for us as Malawi. But in terms of sponsorship, I think it's been the biggest hurdle for Hockey in Malawi to find a sponsorship to sponsor this tournament. So basically, it's out of own resources and few sponsors that have come in. But we're looking forward to have a lot of sponsors. But and hockey is not a popular sport, and most sponsors would want to have something that they can get in return. But you would see even the turn up of spectators, just mostly hockey players that are watching. So sponsors didn't show up as we expected, as we reached out to them. And in terms of organization, I think the organization was also performed way above that we expected, because usually it's been a tournament that hasn't been played here in Malawi for a longest time. I'll tell you, Peter, the last tournament that ACCC was played here at Indian Sports Club in 1994. So it's been almost 20-30 years. And being a tournament like of this magnitude, organization has to be on top of their game. But the guys have done a tremendous job. They've tried their best to reach this far until now we are here talking about the finals. It's no mini achievement for Malawi.
It's half time here in Blantyre in a game between Kampala of Uganda, who are leading by 2-1 against Malawi's Genetrix. It's a men's game. Earlier on, we saw Delta Queens from Nigeria beating Genetrix ladies from Malawi for a very big margin. The final 8th goal was scored on the final dot in the final minute lather of the match. And what we saw from that game is quite different from the men's game we're watching, because the men's game is a bit faster than the ladies game, and the ladies game, Malawi's Genetrix conceded a lot of short corners than what we're seeing now, and 5 of the goals by Delta Queens were scored direct from the short corners, which we are not seeing in this men's game. Tikupatsani masewero achibiri amumpikisano umene ukutha lero wa African Cup for club champions wa maiko amene ni madolo maiko mwawo kuno ku Africa, masewero a hockey umene kuchitika kuno kumudzi. Nthawi yomaliza kuti masewero amene adachitika mdziko muno ndi mchaka cha 1994, kale kwambiri, ndipo chomvetsa chisoni padakali pano nchonena kuti mwina anthu ambiri komanso makampani sabwera kudzionera masewero amenewa. Ochemerera ambiri amene abwera kuno ndi osewera a hockey, mwina osewera ena opuma a hockey amene amaphunzitsa hockey, ndi ena bere la hockey ndimene lili kuno kwambiri, zimene mwina ndizokhala zokhumudwitsirapo. Koma chinthu china chosangalatsa kwambiri ndichonena kuti masewero awa zikuoneka kuti Malawi kukhala ndi matimu okwana mwina asanu kapena asanu ndi imodzi mbali zonse za amayi komanso abambo, ndi chinthu cha mtengo wapatali kwambiri, komanso kuti pali zambiri zimene matimu akuphunzira, ngakhale mampaya, ngakhale aphunzitsi ndi ena. Ndiye ndikhulupirira kuti zaka zimene zikubwerazi ngati mwina mipikisano yoterenga machitike pafupi ikhale nkhani yabwino kwambiri kuno kumudzi, kuti tikhale tikuonerera kuti kodi anyamata athu ndasungwana athu akuchita bwino motani patsogolo. Nthawi iyi ndikuyipereka kwa Benjamin Chaula amene akufotokozera mchichewa komanso mchengerezi first half analysis, kuti kodi pofika theka la masewero amenewa mzigawo ziwiri zimene taonera taona mpira otani, Malawi ichite chani, mbale Genetrix komanso Kampala City ikuchita bwino pati ndi pati pamene ingathe kudyeka. Tifotokozera zimenezo mchichewa komanso mchengerezi.
Zona Peter, what I would say is the first half has been an equal contest. Both teams are coming in to play and participate, and again I would say there's been a lack of coordination in terms of Malawi team Genetrix. There's more of an individual play than a team play, which is also lacking in there. And I think because of there's no cohesiveness between the players, and it becomes a challenge. Now Genetrix have got the advantage because they're now playing at home, and again it's the hope of every Malawian that at least we should have a medal from this tournament. So our hopes mostly have been banking on Genetrix, because if Genetrix takes a bronze medal, it's Malawi that has also won. So we're looking forward to see that Genetrix should take this game and back to Kampala and maybe try to penalize Kampala's mistakes in the D. But they should try to avoid to concede or commit fouls inside their 25 and inside the D, because literally it looks like that Kampala are very clinical in short corners. So I think Genetrix should avoid that. And if we do more analysis, we would want to see our Malawian team taking the bronze medals, and we move forward. On top of that, Kampala is not a team that you can underrate the way you can see. It's not a team that you can underrate. You need to make sure that you are on top of your game, and also they've got quite a number of skilled players who are now playing better and making things happen for the team. But then on the Malawian side, these guys need to be cohesive in terms of the approach, and they need to play the ball more with passes that will make sure we're putting pressure on the Kampala team. We see a lot of chances being created, but again, Genetrix seems to be very strong in defense when it comes to the normal defending and also the midfielders. So we're looking forward to the very competitive second half from the third quarter and the fourth quarter. That will be a highly contested game, because then everyone wants to prove a point. Kampala wants to go home with a medal, and yesterday they had already won against Genetrix, and they don't repeat the same streak. Well, Genetrix would want to have a medal. Definitely they want to have a medal out of this tournament, and represent the country to say that no, Malawi, yes, it has happened, but we have to move forward. So basically, Peter, I would say it's going to be a very tough second half. That's third quarter and fourth quarter.
Mwina mgao laji tatu imene talowa tsopano padakali pano mphindi za 13 2-1 tsogola timu ya Kampala. Genetrix kutsalira, koma tikuona mphamvu zofanana pakuthamanga, kapasindwe ka mpira, kulowa mzigawo za adani, kumenyera pa golo ndi zina. Tikuyembekezera masolo otani itani Genetrix kuti mwina ichite bwino, kapena Kampala kuti teteze kanga chepe kamene yapeza kale padakali pano. Andi ndi masewero amene akuoneka kuti ndi ovuta ndithu mbali zonse ziwiri.
Yes, magame masewero amene akuoneka ndi ovuta kwa matimu onse, like me tikuoneramo ikuoneka kuti Genetrix nayonso yaonjeza gear pamene, because Genetrix akufuna ndithu kuti atengebe mendulo ya bronze iyo, pamene Kampala nawonso afuna atenge medal, komanso akuoneka kuti iwo safuna kuti angobwerera kwawo chifukwa ayenda pansi kuchoka kwawoko. Kuchoka ku Kampala, Uganda. Yes, 5 days. Ndiye kuti sizamasewera yayi, safuna kuti angoona zingojeka, ndi ulendo utali kuyenda masiku 5 uli pansewu. Ndiye kungobwera kunoko kuzango chidwa mali magame wonse kana kumapita kwa ndisindi nzeru.
Timu ili pansewu pansi. Dziko likuti chani kwauko?
Mavuta amene wandikuzona mwafika muno tinawo masiku amavuta ambiri, chifukwa mukakumbukira nthawi inake tinasewera so netipo ina tinasewera ku BYC. Timu ya Uganda inaenda pansi azimayi, koma inabwera inasewera donso bwino kwambiri, chifukwa chokuti I think anthu amene wamakhala kuti iwo ali ndi chikhumbokhumbo kuti takasewere, ngakhale muna boma lawo sinathandize, komabe amene kato ije inali netball national team, sono iyi ndi club yoti amazithandiza okha, ndiye analibe ndalama zoti angakwere ndege uzafika nazo kuno. So ndi chinthu chodandaulitsa kwambiri kuona kuti anthu chonchi akaenda chonchi amakhala kuti atopa azibwera so kwambiri pa basi masiku 5, komabe iwo ndi mungoti chonchi afuna kuti akamachoka akhale ndi medal, chifukwa medal imene limenga pasaso chimwemwe ndi chisangalalo ku kampu kwawo kuti ati kubwerera uno khaenda ndapasi kumatengaso medal iyi. Pamene Genetrix iso nayonso ifuna kuti ayi ife kuno kuti tapangisa kuti Malawi ikhale ndi bronze koyamba chambireni makisemo mpikisano umene wa Africa Club Championship, komanso poti tapanga tikusera ku mdziko mwathu ife tenese kuti tipange gati tionese kuti khale timu yoti imene inali ndi yabweresa lonjezo la mphamvu ku matimuwa ndithu.
Thank you so much. Zikomo kwambiri Benjamin Chaula, modzi wa aphunzitsi akulu kwambiri pa masewero hockey kuno kumudzi. Gawo lachitatu Kampala ikuoneka kuti sakuimva, funitsitsa kupezeratu chigoli zokwanira. It's very, very sad. A team traveling about 5 days by road from Kampala city in Uganda just to play in this tournament. It shows how passionate are people in Uganda for this hockey tournament and how much they love the sport. No wonder they're leading by 2-1 against Genetrix here, and another chance missed. It's extremely hot in Blantyre, as I earlier said, but the boys here have defied all the odds. Every team playing for a win. There'll be too much running in the final quarter because no team between the two wants to lose this match. Would have loved to see a team from South Africa here, as they are always neck to neck with Egypt in as far as honors for hockey tournament is concerned in Africa. But maybe, Benjamin, you have an idea, as a short corner is about to be taken. Maybe let's just see out this corner. 4 men joining the defense, as rules and regulations allow them to join the goalkeeper in defending, and this is where most goals are scored. Beautifully taken. Kampala looking for more, but the goalkeeper does his job. And there is another corner. A sign that this game is too tough. Not well taken. The keeper clears. It's one of the fastest games I've watched in this tournament. Gift Kagwada proving to be the goalkeeper leaves his post. I saw a contact. I expected an umpire to blow for either an infringement, but there's nothing like that, Benjamin.
Yeah, pamene bobo umpire ameneka kuimba chifukwa kuti goalkeeper uja anakwesa player aine mpira chimoze kakhala ku football mali imakhala penalty. So zanga ndipeka kumano ukaona kuti mene maonedwa ife ndi umpire ndosiyana poti ali nkati ife tili kunja kuno ndithu.
Still 2-1 in favor of Kampala City from Uganda. Maybe we should also talk about standard of umpiring. How can you rate the umpires in this tournament?
I would say the umpiring has been above par because I would say it's not quality umpiring that like we have expected. But at the end of the day, the umpires have blown consistently. which is a good, because an umpire must be consistent in making their decisions. In that way, the game doesn't come to disrepute. So I would say the umpiring has been well. Players have been very disciplined. When you've been cushioned, the players have been going out without committing any offense. So all these challenges are, most of the times the issues coming, there are always contention between umpire and the players, but the umpires have done quite a good job so far. I would say that.
5 minutes left before end of the third quarter. Kampala still holding on to that slender lead. They'll be a bit safer if they go into the final recess with that win, with that lead lather. They're leading by 2-1. Kampala.
Yeah, you'd see, Peter, as compared to the game yesterday, this game is, the ball is moving at a very high speed,
and not players climbing up at one place.
Yes.
At least you see players scattered,
Yes.
opening spaces, long or short passes. Mm-hmm. There's more life in this match than the one we watched yesterday between Parachu Battalion and one team from Malawi. I think it was Genetrix.
Yes. It was Parachu Battalion and Scorpions.
And Scorpions, yes.
Yes.
The game is more lively here. Kampala wants it more. What a skill. The game is so exciting. There was just lack of concentration, and the delivery in the final third was not that good. Otherwise, that was a very good effort.
Yeah, it was a very good effort for Kampala to penetrate. But like I said, Genetrix are very good. Now it seems they're proven good in defense. That is why I think both teams are defending very, very well. They're defending, they're doing what we call double teaming, whereby one player is going, the other one is supporting. If the other player is beaten, then the next one comes in to just pick up the ball. So that is what we've observed so far. But the clinical, the only thing that is lacking now is the finishing touch for both teams. As you can see here now, outletting for them to get out of the circle becomes a challenge. At the end of the day, most of the teams are just conceding fouls. And
coordination between the forwards and the players from the middle is also proving to be a bit of a problem on the part of Genetrix.
Yes, I think what Genetrix is lacking now is the central midfielder player. Yes. That engine room, which is, this job is to cook, make food, then to distribute it. So now it seems like their main midfielder has retreated back to defend instead of now standing in the middle. So that's the challenge that we can see from here.
All right, now looking at tempo of the game and the way Kampala are pushing here, what would you advise Genetrix to do? Should they still push more players up front, or maybe defend numbers, zonal marking, or what is good for them to get a result from this match?
What Genetrix need right now is that man in the middle who can create, who can...
A ball driver.
Exactly. Someone who can control the game. That's what is lacking in a Genetrix side. They've got good quality players, as you can see, as individuals. But now they're lacking now the cohesiveness, whereby they're playing as a unit. Basically, most of the players, once they have the ball, they're running with the ball with it. And again, we call... We say running off the ball. Running off the ball, that means you create a space when we don't have the ball. Yeah. So that is what is lacking. The players have to, when one player's got a ball, they should open up and create options for the player who's carrying the ball. So that's what is lacking. Because what is happening if you saw, once Genetrix has got the ball, all the players are running forward without being constructive to say, okay, fine, I'm going this direction whereby I want that player to see me and pass the ball to me. You see, that is what is lacking on their side. While Kampala, there seem to be a good cohesion amongst them. They know each other very well.
But appear they played for a long time as a team.
Exactly.
They are very much used to each other.
Definitely. That's what is what the benefit to them, because every time one has got the ball, they're making passes even on a blind side. They already know if once I have the ball, there's Benjamin on my right. Let me release the ball to them. So that's the benefit to them.
All right, now for sure in the women category, we're going to see a team from Ghana, called Ghana, and the Delta Queens of Nigeria. And we have the Brazzers from Kenya of 7 points after the disqualification of Wreckers from Kenya, who were leading the ladies section. I don't know. What gap have you seen between these other teams from other countries and those teams from Malawi in the women segment?
On the women's segment, I'm telling you, we are very far. The gap between the teams that are coming from outside and our teams. A clinical example is, you can see the number of goals that our teams have conceded. It has not been most of the goals have been more than 2 goals. So that is the biggest challenge for us. It shows that our women's hockey is not that competitive. That is why most of our teams have conceded, most of our girls have conceded a lot of goals. But now, taking a look back to the game, we're now in the last quarter. The last quarter is now the last one, where every team has to put an effort to make sure that it's you have to win or you lose it. So every team they're going to push on each other side, making sure that they win. And Kampala have to defend the goal, but also they have to score. While Genetrix, they have to defend so that Kampala doesn't score again, because if they score again, the margin is going to be longer. It should be more than Genetrix to equalize. So we're looking forward for Genetrix team to equalize this game, to equalize in this last quarter, and maybe let's see if the game can go up to the end. But we don't want the game to go into penalties.
All right. Now, in case of a draw, should Genetrix equalize, what do we expect? Are teams going into extra time, straight into penalty shootouts?
Yes, definitely it's going to be penalty shootouts if that is a draw.
There will be no extra time?
No extra time because of the time.
There will be 2 more games played in the afternoon?
Yes, we're looking for two more finals.
2 more finals.
First women's final, last men's final. So all these games are the very strong, competitive games, very tough games. For example, the men's final is going to be the biggest one, because these teams they play together. It's Shakia and the other team is what?
Shakia and maybe they'll be playing Kampala.
No, Brazzers.
Brazzers.
Yes.
Brazzers from Kenya.
Yes. So they already drew 1-1.
That was
2-2.
very, very tight.
Exactly. So it's going to be even tighter.
Well, 12 minutes away from completion of the second match in this final day of the African Club Hockey Championship, taking place here in Blantyre, Malawi. And it's Kampala City from Uganda 2, Genetrix from Malawi 1. The game is highly contested. We understand that Kampala hockey team have traveled by road, taking about 5 days on the road just to come and represent their country here. This is commendable under this weather in Malawi. And I know Kampala is also very, very hot. It's very hot in Uganda. It's not a surprise at all to them. Maybe this is the more reason the energy on the part of Kampala team keeps rising in this match, because they're used to playing under hot weather. Kampala still pushing for more, but there's a foul. an infringement. The umpire blows against Genetrix to the goalkeeper's surprise. He's complaining, and he's a captain, not happy at all with the umpire's decision.
I think the challenge that we have in Malawi is, like I mentioned yesterday, is that we want to appeal to every decision that the umpire has done. So basically, your focus is changes, and again, you have a different feeling towards that umpire. So when you play without focusing on your game. So I know definitely you have to appeal, but definitely there has to be a point whereby you focus on playing only.
That's very true. I've seen a lot of players fighting decisions by umpires. Most of the players we're seeing from Malawi teams are those with much experience, except for the few. I haven't seen young players. Are we doing enough to build teams for tomorrow or teams for the future?
Yeah, I'll give you example in the Genetrix team. There are quite a few of youngsters, but as Hockey Malawi, I think they're doing quite a lot of work to make sure that they develop hockey from the grassroots. But the challenge, like I said, is all about resources. Hockey is the most difficult game in terms of resources. I'll tell you, Peter, one hockey stick costs right now. The good hockey sticks cost about 300,000 to 400,000. Just one.
3 to
400,000.
just a hockey stick.
One hockey stick.
How about the gear?
It's about 20.
The rakers and the like.
For the goalkeeper, that kit that the goalkeeper we're wearing now, top quality goalkeeper set, it's almost 2 million kwacha. So you need more.
Is hockey a game for the poor?
Hockey is a game for everyone. It just
No, I'm beginning to wonder, because it can cost me maybe just 200,000 to have a very good uniform for the goalkeeper for football. That is boots, stockings, and perhaps a bag and a full kit. Yeah. When you're talking about 2 million or something, or over 1 million for just one player, one hockey goalkeeper, yeah, then what is this?
It's a very difficult to understand. So mostly for countries like Malawi, we rely on donations, and again we rely on support from Malawi government, because even a club in Malawi, they cannot afford to purchase a full goalkeeper set right now at the moment, because like I told you, it's very expensive. One hockey stick costs 100,000 kwacha. Well, one football whereby 11 players can play, it costs maybe less than 200,000 kwacha. So that's why hockey is not that much popular sport in Africa, because of resources.
And now to up our game, it means there is a lot to be done. What structures have been put in place? What measures have been put in place to make sure that we are also... Wow, that was a very bad collision between Genetrix centre back and an attacker for Kampala.
I think that was manufactured foul by the Genetrix defender. That's why he's been cushioned. He's given a yellow card. Yeah, because definitely he was not supposed to do that. So he knew definitely if this guy doesn't beat me, we're gonna concede a goal. So he created that foul deliberately.
And how about a red card or a green card? Why is a yellow card necessary at this point in time?
So green card is only 2 minutes, but yellow card is from 5 to 10 minutes, or even it can be 15 minutes. So that's like you're going to sit on the sin bin for about 10 minutes. So it's almost the game
the game is over for this player.
Yeah, exactly.
This team is going to play. They've scored. They have it. They'll be going back to Kampala with a medal for sure. Digested as some of the Malawi Genetrix players. And that's a celebration all the way from Kampala. Just number 10 for Kampala hockey team, Buyule Gilbert leading the celebration there. We're talking about indiscipline, where you lose a player to a yellow card for reckless foul and you're punished for about 10 minutes. Immediately the player walks out, his team gets punished.
Exactly, that's what happens. Because when you manufacture a foul, you think like, no, I'm saving my team, not knowing that your team will be one player short. So you're penalizing your team as well. You understand? So like I told you before, Genetrix are more, they're failing to play as a unit. There are more individual players playing in this game, you know. And again, on top of that, they like that man in the middle who can control the game, who can lead. Guys, we are here. Guys, let's move left, move right. Okay, who can be doing the distribution? Well, Kampala team, they know each other. They are playing as a unit. The moment one gets a ball, one is opening already. Two are opening already. Three are opening already. That's what is supposed to happen, but it's not happening on our side.
All right, this is what we would call a final for Malawi representatives, Genetrix, in this tournament. We are back to square one. Where do we have to start from? What do we have to improve? What do we have to tell our players in the next or coming tournament?
Next coming tournaments, I think we need to work on a lot of things, a lot of flaws, because this has been a learning curve for us, a good learning experience. We've seen how other teams are playing. The Kampala team is playing well because they know each other very well. There's cohesiveness amongst them. So it's good for them. But for Malawian teams, individual play, appealing to the umpires each and every foul, it becomes more disadvantage to us. Let's focus on playing and leave the umpires do their work. On top of that, preparation matters. Preparation really matters. Kampala, they prepared for this tournament for well back. Well, our teams, we just finished the league, and at the end of the day, we went to sleep, forgetting that there's a tournament coming in. It's costed us a lot so far.
Wise words indeed from Benjamin Chaula, who is our analyst this afternoon. We're live on Times Facebook page, as well as TTV. You can catch live commentary there as we enjoy the videos. It's still 3-1 to Kampala City against Genetrix here. For sure they'll be going home with a medal. At least something to show their country, home fans, when they return, departing tomorrow on a Monday. They should be arriving in Kampala on a Friday evening. This is the sad news about it.
Yeah, definitely. But it's going to be fun for them because it's more of an adventure now. It becomes an adventure because now they've got time to see the countryside, Malawi. They'll go to see Tanzania before they get to the border between Kenya and Tanzania and Uganda, and then all the way to Kampala. It's going to be now an adventure for them. And they'll be celebrating having a medal.
It's time for them maybe to go and visit maybe Mangojo Salima just to appreciate the lake and test Jambo from Malawi.
Definitely.
Before they leave, as they refresh themselves.
Exactly, because they don't have a fresh lake like Malawi, like we do. They have Lake Victoria, which is like a basin lake. Yes. But freshwater lake, Malawi, let them go have a visit there, eat some chambo, and men take some beers, and if one of them want to marry a Malawi woman, we are proud. We are happy to give them some.
Maybe did you also try to help them with some stuff from Malawi? Some precious stuff from Cholo Mulanje?
Definitely.
For sure.
What we've done, we've made them to feel at home.
Yes.
So everything that Malawi does, we've shared with them. We've taken them out to, for a soft drink, for water, and for chilling and everything. And it's been...
Any compliments about Malawi?
Yeah, everyone it's liking our personality. Everyone likes Malawians are very welcoming. Friendliness is there and everything. Yeah,
very, very disjointed. Just number 2 for Genetrix. Malawi's Genetrix. Denoline Ngemi. Not happy with the decision by the umpire, and his friend is lying down in agony. He was about to kick him by the leg. He's very disappointed. His team is down by 3-1. He really wants to win, and somebody in his right thinking, the player is faking an injury.
Exactly. That's what he's thinking. He's not happy with the decision by the umpire. So what you're doing, you're questioning the umpire's decision. You see
all the 3 players surrounding the umpire.
That's what becomes a problem. Instead of now focusing to
And it's a half corner now.
yeah, short corner.
A short corner where they normally get goals
Yeah.
from. Let us wait and see what happens as 4 players have joined the goalkeeper in defending Kampala's attack. How I wish in Malawi we had devoted and dedicated athletes that would allow traveling by road the way our colleagues from Kampala, Uganda have done.
Yeah.
And they quickly take that one. They can shoot. Not this time around.
Yeah, it's a passionate. It's a very good passionate for them, and hard work pays. They came in when that's alive like yesterday, and the next day they are playing a game.
They're on the pitch.
They're on the pitch, and it's proven to them that they are really hard workers, and their passion has good results. And now here we are with 22 seconds.